that we can check when we don't understand something. Because a lot of the time we're speaking to people maybe on the phone, or we're, booking an appointment, we're booking, changing something, and we just need to sometimes understand. We need to make sure that we speak clearly and that the other person understands what we're saying, and at the same time that we can show them that we understand, or maybe that we don't understand, because that's fine. You are learning a language, and it's okay to tell someone, I'm sorry, can you please repeat that? I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. So that's what we want to talk about now. We want to talk about ways that we can show someone that we understand them, or maybe that we don't understand them. Maybe we need them to repeat the information. Maybe it's like a phone number or an address or an email address. So we want to have expressions. We want to know, how do I tell someone I don't understand you? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Expressions that are very common. And we get these problems, as you know, on the phone. When you're speaking to someone on the phone, it's always hard to understand them than if you were speaking in person. So let's look at some expressions that we could use on the phone, but it's also the same as if you were speaking to the person in life. Okay, so making sure that we understand the other person, or that if we don't understand them, then how do we tell them that we don't understand them? So let's start first by looking at some expressions to check and clarify, and then we'll do some exercise. So when I want to check, it means I want to make sure that I have the correct information. And clarifying is the same idea. You want to just make sure what you have is correct. So we use the verb to be. So remember, am is are, which is in the present moment, or did. Okay, so all you got to remember is use these two verbs. So am is are, or did, which is in the past. So if you want to check that you have the correct time and date, okay, maybe you're booking your dentist appointment or your doctor's appointment or your appointment for your flight, or anything, any time that you need to check that you have the correct time and the correct date, these are some expressions that we say. So we could say, remember again, using the verb to be, is that 3 in the morning? Okay, so maybe the time I didn't hear, I have to repeat. Is that 2 in the afternoon? Is that 5 at night? Okay, that's how I can ask. If it's about money, we'll do time and date first, and then place, your phone number. I might just add here to check with, so with, the price. Maybe you want to check the price of something. If I want to check the price, I would say, is that $50? Okay, so again, you can see the verb to be. Is that $50? Okay, or whatever number. Is that $20? So maybe I'm holding an item. Is that $20? Let's go back to the time. Did you say 3 o'clock? So that's how we use the verb did. Did you say 3 o'clock? So again, whatever time, if this was 2 o'clock, did you say 2 o'clock? Did you say 6 o'clock? Okay, that's how we check the time. So again, you could see the verb to be or did. You start your sentence with the verb because that's how we ask questions. Now, if you want to check the date, you could say, is that on the 3rd of May? So it's got the date, the 3rd, and then the month of May. Or you could say, is that in May? Maybe you're checking your appointment. Is that in May? Is my appointment in May? Okay, so that's how we can check the time and date. Now, if you want to check the price, as I said, maybe you're buying something, you could say, is that $50? Or, sorry, did you say $50? So again, you can see the two verbs, is or did. Maybe you want to check the place. You want to make sure that you heard the correct location, the place. So again, is that in Burnside? So remember, this is like a suburb. Did you say Burnside? Okay, so that's how I can make sure the other person, I understood them. Did you say Burnside? And that's to check with place. Maybe I want to check somebody gave me, or I gave someone my mobile number. How do I say this is my phone number? Well, you could say my number is, okay, now in Australia with our mobile number, we just say mobile. We don't say cell phone. So we say my mobile number or my number is, and then we divide it by saying the first four numbers. And there's a stop in your sound. Then we say the three numbers, and then you stop, you pause, and then you say the last three numbers. So for example, my number is 0402 688 210. And even if I write it, I need to put that space. Can you see that there's a space here? This will make it very easy for people to read your number and to respond, because maybe they want to ask you, let me check that. Is that 0402? So maybe they want to see if they heard you correct. So always say the first four numbers, pause, three numbers, pause, and the last three numbers. Now you can say my number is, or you could say, so that's, and then repeat it. So that's 0402 688 210. Now they can say to you, is that 0402? And they should stop, because you should say, yep. They'll say 688. You say yes. 210. And then you say yes. So these little pauses give you time to tell the person yes. The first four numbers is correct. The middle number is correct. And the last three numbers is correct. Okay, maybe you want to check spelling. You want to make sure that you have the correct spelling. So you could say, is that A for apple? That's very common. If you want to know the letter A for apple, we say B for Bob, C for cat. These are just some very common nouns we use. D for dog, E for elephant. Then we have a name here, S for Sam, F for Fred, T for Tom. So if Sue Ellen was saying her name, she would say, my name is Sue Ellen, S for Sam, and then U is a very hard one, U for umbrella. Okay, so you got to find the most common kind of word, U for umbrella, E for elephant, and then double L, when you have two letters together. So we call this, for example, double L. So you don't say LL, you say double L. Or maybe, you know, your name has like this. So you say double R. Okay, so double R. Whatever the letter is, if it's two of them, 2T, double T. Okay, so not TT, you would say double T, double L, okay, whatever you're trying to spell. So that's how we can check the spelling. Maybe we're taking down, sorry, so we have to check the spelling. Okay, spelling, remember, is your alphabet, your A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and all your letters. So just use a common word and we say D for, and then say that noun that starts with the letter. Okay, so we're gonna talk about speaking on the phone, because as we know, when we speak on the phone, we need to understand if someone is saying information correctly. So I have this conversation here in number 5. So you could see the caller 1 says, sorry, hello. And then B says, hi, is this Benny? So maybe you want to check the name of someone. So again, using that verb to be, is this Benny? Or you could say, am I speaking to Benny? And they would say, yes, speaking. So you don't have to repeat your name. Yes, I am Sue Ellen, or yes, I am Lucy. You just say, yep, speaking. That's very common. So you don't have to repeat your name. You just say, yes, speaking. It's very simple, and it lets the other person know, yes, this is me. I am Benny. Okay, so that's very common. Yes, speaking. And then they say, oh, great. Hey, Benny, I'm calling you from my hotel in Italy because my phone isn't working. And B says, oh, it could be, oh, okay. Which hotel are you staying at? I'm staying at Innsbruck Hotel. And B says, okay. And this is my number, 0043 512 5703022. Now B says, is that 00043? And you would pause, wait for the other person to say yes before you continue. So they would say yes. You would say 512. They say yes. You say 57. They say yes. 03022. So always try and go small with the number, because you want to make sure you have all the number, and it's a very long number. And they can say, yep, perfect. So that means like, yes, you got the correct number. That's good. Or that's correct. And then A says, so Benny, have you emailed me the presentation for tomorrow's meeting? And B says, no, I had problems or issues with your email address. Can you give it to me again? And B says, yes, sure. It's alan.peterson@gmail.com. So again, B wants to check. He can say, is that, because remember we use the verb to be, or did you say? So is that alan.patterson@gmail.com? And A says, no, it's Peterson. Now, because it's a word, you have to spell it. So he says, no, it's Peterson. And then Peterson. So make sure you go nice and slow, because somebody is writing it down. So nice and slow. Peterson. And B says, okay, got it. So this is a very good expression. Got it means like, okay, I understand. Or you could just say, okay, I understand is more about when someone gives you like a task to do. This is just information. So I would say, okay, got it is more common than, okay, I understand. I'll get that to you now. Or you could, okay, I'll send you the presentation now. And to say thanks, it's very common. We say cheers. That's another way to say thanks. Cheers, talk soon. Okay, so keep your conversations very short. Bye, because you're on the phone. So talk soon. You don't need to say, okay, I'll talk to you sometime very soon. Just short sentence that's very quick and easy to understand. Okay, before I give you another example, I wanted to show you how do we say, if something Sorry, no, we'll talk about another example. So this is another conversation. So, hello, this is Wilda. Hi, Wilda, this is OJ. Where are you calling from? I'm at the Embassy Hotel and am having some problems with my phone. Really? How are you calling me then? I'm using the hotel's telephone. The number here is 0043 512 0067241. Is that 0043 512 0067241, right? Yes, that's correct. Or yes, that's right. I tried to send you an email with the video for tomorrow's meeting, but it says your email is wrong. Could you give it your email to me again? Could you give me your email again? Yes, it's wilder2020@hotmail.com. Is that wilder2022@hotmail.com? No, it's wilder2020@hotmail.com. Ah, okay. So again, oh, okay, got it. But not really, I understand. Just, okay, got it. Or just, okay, I'll email you the video now. Okay, so we showed how we can understand, how can we, check that we have the correct time, the correct date. Did we hear the correct price, the correct place? To give your mobile number, to make sure that the spelling is correct. Okay, so now we're going to look at some conversations, ways to check when you don't understand someone. Okay, so what can I say to show someone I don't understand? Maybe they gave me a number, they gave me a date, maybe they gave me a location, and I have to make sure I can check. So here are some conversations just to show you that practice of using what I said. So we read the first one with Wilda. This is another conversation here. So caller 1 says hello, and A says, hi, is this Benny? Or you could say, am I speaking to Benny? And B says, yes, speaking. So I think we did this one before. Oh, great. Hey, Benny, I'm calling you from my hotel in Italy because my phone stopped working. Ah, which hotel are you staying at? I'm staying at Innsbruck Hotel. Okay, and this is my number. So again, if you have two numbers, you say 0043 512 5703 Is that 0043 512 5703 Yep, perfect. That's correct. Okay, let's check this example. So it's a very short conversation, but Henry says, hello, I'm on my way to school, but don't know what time the class is. And Curly says, it's at 5:15 p.m. Henry says, okay, and which teacher are we studying with today? Curly says, with Maria. And Henry says, did you say N? Curly says, no, M. So you could say here, M for Maria. So no, M for Maria. Remember when you check the name, you say M, and then you pick a word, a noun that has an M. And Henry says, okay, thank you very much. See you later. Okay, so we're making sure that we're asking, we want to use expressions as I said, the two most important words that we can use, verbs that we can use, is the verb to be by saying is, is that Maria? Or are you Maria? Or is that in Burnside, if it's the location? And also using did. Did you say M for Mary? Did you say at 6 o'clock? Did you say in the city? So I can say did to also ask. I have one more conversation here. So this is with Eloise. Eloise says, hi, is this number for B Beauty Salon? Javiera says, yes, it is. Eloise says, great. My name's Eloise and my phone ran out of battery and I don't know my booking time to get my nails done. Javiera says, no worries. Your appointment is at 4. Eloise said, did you say 4 o'clock? Javiera says, yes, 4 p.m. Eloise says, and can you give me the address? Javiera says, yes, it's 267. So it would be good if she says here, yes, it's, because remember we use that verb to be, it's 267 Grenfell Street. Eloise says, sorry, did you say 267 Grenfell? So you could see she's checking, making sure she has the correct address, the correct number for the address and the street, Grenfell. Javier says, no, it's G for gate. Eloise says, oh, yes, thanks. And you can update my phone number. It is 424-924-793. And Javiera says, is that 424-924-793? Eloise says, yes, perfect. I'll be there soon. Thanks for the help. Javiera says, you're welcome. See you later. Or again, see you soon. And Eloise says, see you. Okay, so that's a really good conversation about, maybe you're calling your salon where you do your hair or your nail, and you want to check what time you have your appointment. What's the address? Maybe you need to change your appointment. You say, hi, I have an appointment for today at 3 o'clock, but can I please change it? So when you want to change the date, the time, we say, can I please change it? So we ask a question, can I please change it? And the other person would say, yes, you can. And you could say, okay, can I book the 12th? Maybe the other person didn't hear you. They'd say, did you say the 12th? What do you say? Yes, I did. Or is that the 12th? Yes, it is. Okay, so always use those two verbs. Is that 2 o'clock? Is that M for Maria? Is that at 6 o'clock? Is that on Goodwood Road? Okay, so you could say is, or you could say did. Did you say 6 o'clock? Did you say on Tuesday? Did you say in May? Did you say Peary Street? Okay, and then you would say, yes, I did. Or if it's incorrect, you need to say, no, it's, and then make the correction. So make sure that when you're creating a conversation, to practice ways to check when you don't understand someone. So remember, we're talking about not understanding phone numbers, not understanding an address. Maybe you didn't hear the time, you didn't hear the date, the location, the email address. It could be anything, okay, to do with giving your details or about the time and date. Okay, so create a conversation and then we'll come back and do the exercise in our book. Create a conversation. So maybe you're checking about your plane ticket, your flight. Maybe you're checking what time you booked your dentist appointment, or you're checking, but make sure you're checking a few things, your phone number, your email, the name, okay? So create a conversation and try to use all that I've taught you about how we can check. Make sure that someone else is understanding us or that we understand them, because to have this information is really important. I need to make sure I can check. Okay, so write your conversations and